Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Digimon Adventure 2020, Episode 4. So yeah, after quite a bit of time off, we are finally back with more Digimon Adventure 2020. And so for those who might not have known, the reason why it was away for so long was because of, well, the entire COVID crisis. Because of this pandemic, they had to shut down production for a while, but they are finally back up and running. And so we will be getting more episodes continuously now. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. In this time between, we did react to glitch text, but finished that right on time, and we are back with more. So yeah, last we left off, they had gotten through the entire war game starting mini arc with the Omnimon's introduction, which, as I remember, I was kind of split on how I felt about Omnimon being introduced so randomly early on, without even having introduced all of the Digivolutions for Agumon and Gabumon yet. On top of that, we also had just kind of minor, very, very minor introductions to some of the other characters. Sora had a speaking role, but the others were mostly just kind of in the background and just kind of briefly shown just to establish that, yeah, they're there. We'll get to know Joe, Mimi, Kari. Well, Kari had a bigger role being Ty's sister and all. We'll get to know them all more further down the line. It seems like it's probably going to introduce them one at a time until the entire gang is all there. Still don't know how directly this is going to follow kind of the sequence of events from the original series, especially because of having the War Games arc first. Don't know if we're going to get Devimon or Myotismon or anyone like that. We'll just kind of have to see. But yeah, so I don't know where this episode's going to go. I don't know like what anything new we're going to get with it or whatnot. All I know is that at the end of the last one, Tai and Agumon woke up inside the digital world, and it was our first look at the digital world too. Because prior to that, we kind of been in this this like net space between the two worlds. And that kind of reminds me, since it went on hiatus and everything, I have also started playing Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth on my Switch Lite. And I've been enjoying the game. Like, it's fun and everything. The story I'm not as invested in, personally. I think the story's kind of weak and generic. And I'm not really a huge fan of the way they're incorporating the Digimon and the fact that there, at least so far, appears to be no digital world. It just seems really off to me. But the actual, like, gameplay where you're actually fighting Digimon and stuff, like, that's fun. The other stuff, the kind of, I guess you could compare it to Persona, the Persona-like elements in the rest of the game, they're boring. They're not that interesting. They're not fun. It's not fun to go throughout the real world doing absolutely fuck all to do with Digimon and just talking to random people, basically. But on the plus side, there are some fun customization options. There's some cool different outfits you can put on, so that's fun. There's not much you can do. It's just different outfits here and there. And the game also gives you, I guess, because it's kind of like a special edition on the Switch Lite eShop, it also gives you a bunch of promotional Digimon, like Omnimon and Alphamon and all of them. Gallantmon is one of them. But I don't really tend to use them. My teams are more my starter Digimon, which was Terriermon, and is currently Gargomon, and then other ones that I just happen to like. Like I've had Renamon, who is currently a Black Gatomon. Um, I've had I've had Agumon in my team, just various ones here and there. I usually tend to go for ones I like the most. But either way. So yeah, with the anime, I don't know where this is going to go at all because again, they seem to be changing quite a bit in terms of the progression of the story and how everything works. Which is fine. It's a reboot. It's allowed to do that. I'm fully on board for it still because it's still very well made. The writing is solid. The character characterizations are solid. It's all well done. It's just because it is a reboot, because it is using characters and Digimon and various um, concepts and whatnot from an older series. Of course, I'm going to think back to that, and of course, I'm going to be a little concerned and worried about them bringing in certain elements much sooner than they otherwise would have and did in the original version. Um, but as long as they do them right, as long as it's still handled well, that's what truly matters here. Now, I'm still wondering how far this series is going to go. Just last thing before we begin. I'm still wondering how far this is going to go because this, um, this continuity from the original series, the adventure continuity, spanned the first two seasons, which was Digimon Adventure and Digimon Adventure 2, a bunch of like specials and short films, which were a lot of which were combined into the original Digimon movie. Um, and then there was all the Digimon Adventure Tri films, Digimon Adventure: The Last Kizuna. It's like there's a lot to it, and you got to wonder how far it's going to go. I don't think it's going to get involved with any of the other generations. We might see Digimon from other generations, but we're not going to like get to the stuff like with um I can never not remember the names of the Digidestined from the third generation. Well, technically second generation, third. Well, no, it would be still the third generation because there was a different generation of Digidestined in Adventure 2. Um, but yeah, there's like an entire another generation of Digidestined in there, and there is I'm trying to remember Renamon's Digidestined, and I can't for the life of me remember her name. Rika, that's it. Came to me right as I said that. Funny enough, Rika and Renamon, the main character, and Guillamon, like they're probably not going to appear at all. They might be have like a little background cameo or something like that. And again, the Digimon themselves might appear, but the characters and their storylines very likely won't. This is a Digimon adventure series. But we might get the Digidestined from Adventure 2, like Yole and Hawkmon with her. I always liked Yole. I don't give a shit. Davis as well, obviously, of course. But all of them. I think we could possibly get them. But again, I don't know. I don't think I've heard one way or the other if they've said whether or not they're going to even get into that, like go that far. They might not even introduce that at all. They might just do a completely new original thing. We'll have to see. But I am excited to find out, and I'm very excited to be back with this. I do not know how long this series is going to last either. I don't think there's a set amount of episodes, and I don't know if it's going to be done in a seasonal style, like shows like, say, My Hero Academia are done. I don't know if it's going to be like that or if it's just going to be a show that just continues on and on. Um, like I said, we'll just kind of have to see. But in the meantime, let's just get this started and see where this fourth episode takes us. So, that being said, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so this was another good episode, and it feels really good to be back. So in this one, we kind of get a direct continuation off of last time. Tai and Agumon have arrived in the digital world, and are just kind of trying to figure out what's going on at first. And then we realize Sora's there too. So yeah, Sora handles things, as I mentioned, extraordinarily well. She doesn't freak out. She's not like scared or anything. She's just like, "Oh, this is neat. I'm surprised. I'm shocked. I'm taken aback, but not to any strong level. It's just I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow." um, it's a little weird that she didn't have any kind of strong reaction to it. That she just kind of instantly accepted it. Um, the Digimon too. Like the only real surprise she had with the Digimon was that they could talk. Because before that, it's just like she's like, "Is that a dinosaur?" It's like no real like strong reaction to it. It's like okay. Um, as I've said, I don't remember everything from the original series, but I don't think Sora was this level-headed and relaxed about everything. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's like I don't remember her being that relaxed about everything. Um, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's really interesting to see. Like Ty, as I said, I can understand him being like that with his courage and just again, he's kind of already experienced this stuff to a point. Um, Joe would Joe would lose his shit. Joe would lose his shit. TK would probably enjoy it though. He would probably like it. Um, but yeah, either way, it seems to definitely be going kind of like I was expecting. It's going to just introduce and like focus on a different Digidestin and their partner Digimon each episode until we've got the entire gang together. Um, the first 3 episodes were focused on Tai and well, mostly Tai, but then we had Matt come in as well. We got to see Garurumon. We didn't actually see Gabumon actually, but now we have Sora, and it looks like Izzy's going to be next with Tentomon. Now that Tentomon's here too. Um, After that, who knows? Because we still have to get to Mimi, we have to get to TK, we have to get to Joe, we have to get to Kari. Kari will probably still be last if they keep things like the original, but who knows if they will. If I were to guess who would be next, I would probably guess Mimi. I think they're gonna save Joe for close to last, so I'm thinking Mimi's gonna be next though. TK might be one of the last ones as well because they have. I feel like they're gonna bring Matt back before they bring in TK because of well they're brothers, so it's like it just makes sense that Matt would have to be there for that story and everything for that introduction. But yeah, we'll just have to see. So yeah, in this one, they're heading to this mountain, because a light shone over there, and it's really the only lead they have to go on. So along the way, they end up getting attacked by various Digimon and have to fight them off. Agumon digivolves to Greymon, and Sora meets Biyomon, or in the Japanese, I guess it's Piyomon. Biyomon is cute little pink bird who has a fire attack like Agumon, but is definitely not as much of an aggressive fighter. Like Agumon will go right into it. He'll just like blast into a fight with no issue, because and I think it has to do with the connection with the crest and everything. Because Tai has the crest of courage, or whatever the exact word they use is, courage or whatever. I think it's just courage. I don't think it's like bravery or anything. But I think it also connects to how Agumon's personality is. Agumon is very courageous, is very not headstrong. He acts without thinking. I can't think of the word. Um, but he'll just go into it and fight without any issue, without any worry. Um, while Sora, if I'm right about this, and I could look it up. It's not that big a deal. I'm not like Sora is the crest of love. I was correct. Okay, Sora's is the crest of love, and as such, she's gonna be, well, for lack of a better way to put it, she's a lover more than a fighter. She's not as heavily aggressive or courageous as someone like Tai. Her focus is more on the heart of the matter. um, so Bioman, as we see in the episode, is very timid, but she's also very attached to Sora right off the bat. She just forms this instant bond with her and connects with her love. The two grow very close very quick. While Tai and Agumon was it wasn't like this like long thing or anything, but Tai and Agumon kind of just bonded over like almost necessity. They kind of just, it's like, oh, we have to work together to fight these enemy Digimon. And it's like, let's be badass and attack them and shit. But with Biyomon and Sora, the bond was formed because of Sora's instant, let's be honest, instant showcase of love in order to protect Biyomon. She wanted to protect and just help her. Like, that was her first instinct, to show that love. And because of it, Biyomon connected to her. Biyomon kind of formed this internal bond. Um, I know what I'm saying. I'm just terrible at wording things. You guys know that. She bonded with her, and it allowed eventually that bond to take physical form, with Sora gaining her Digivice and allowing Biyomon to Digivolve to Birdramon. Um, and that's the thing. Each of the like Digidestined are very diverse characters. They have very notable personality traits and things that drive them. Again, Tai is very courageous. He's kind of just balls to the wall. He'll run headfirst into any situation and attack, even if he's not necessarily thinking about the consequences. Um, Matt is very hot-headed. He also acts on impulse, but more so because he has a little bit of a high opinion of himself, or at least tries to make himself believe that. Um, Izzy is obviously the very smart, well thought out one. He's the plan maker, the one who really gives a lot of time into everything. Sora is the love one. She has the heart and the emotional aspect of things, and so on and so forth. Each of these Digidestined are very different, but in a way that connects them all. They fill in the gaps that the others need. They help balance each other out. It's kind of like a it's kind of like a party in an RPG, or even just straight up D&D or something. It's like you can't just have a party of all one class. You can't just have a party of bards going around. You need to have a balance of things. You have to have a magic user. You have to have ranged fighters and close up fighters. You have to have someone who can, even racial wise, like different races like dwarves and elves and stuff, they have different abilities that allow them to help out. Like elves are able to see further, see in the dark and stuff like that. Dwarves can check walls and uh, statues and objects for mechanisms and hidden doors and stuff, things like that. And it's like they balance each other out. And it's the same kind of thing with the Digidestined. They all have their specialties, their focus, their defining personalities and traits that make them stand out and make them all fit together as a proper group. And it's why in the original series they connected so hard, why they became such close best friends, because they helped each other. Not just filling in the gaps of their personality types and traits and stuff. They were, because of it, they were able to help each other in ways that they wouldn't have been able to if they were all the same. That's why, like, even in real life, it's important to have friends who have some differences in terms of likes, dislikes, all of that stuff, because it allows you to discover new things. It allows you to, um, it allows the friends to be able to help you and for you to be able to help them in ways that would not be possible if you were all just the same. So yeah, diversity is key. It's necessary. Um, and Digimon's always been great at showing that. So Ogremon was definitely being uh, foreshadowed in this episode for a bit there, so that's definitely going to come into play. But yeah, if the next episode is going to focus more on Tentamon, now Izzy and Tentamon were swallowed by the whale. Are they going to be transported to the digital world somehow, or are they going to have to fight the whale in the net? It's kind of unclear. And if so, does that mean that Tai and Sora are going to have to deal with Ogremon at the same time? We'll have to see, and we'll have to see exactly what the temple is about. Because I don't remember if there was a temple in the original. It's, again, been a long time. I don't remember all the story elements. I just remember things here and there, basically. Um, but I'm almost kind of thinking the temple will need all of them to be there. I don't know. That just kind of seems like it's probably going to be the case. Um, and I'm still curious. Like right now, the only other Digimon we've seen other than the partner Digimon have been just random wild Digimon, basically. I'm waiting to see like an organized enemy. And I believe Devimon was the first real major bad guy in the original series. And again, I don't know if they're going to do it the same way in this, but that would be pretty cool to bring in Devimon again, to have that entire thing going on, and then eventually bring in Myotismon and everything else. It's like it would just be really cool to kind of go into that entire aspect of things again, and but to see it done in a new, fresh way. And I believe I've said it before, but that's what helps this stand apart from like other things like the 2019 Fruits Basket. With the 2019 Fruits Basket, it was more of the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment, where it's like, oh, we're going to remake the anime to make it more close to the actual manga, which was ongoing at the time the original anime came out. That's what Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood did in comparison to the original Full Metal Alchemist. That's what Hellsing Ultimate did compared to the regular Hellsing series. Um, and that's all well and good. But a lot of the story beats are going to still be the same, and it's going to be hard to get into that because of that, even if it's presented with better animation and whatnot. At least for me, it's going to be as hard to get into because you're basically just watching the same thing over again. Even when I watch like a lot of the same shows, same episodes over again, it's a lot of the times, most of the time, it's with reactions, or if I'm watching with somebody. Like, I've been watching a few different reaction series on YouTube of stuff like Avatar lately. I'm watching through One Piece again with the reactor currently. Um, and it's like that's all on good because you're really watching for the person's reactions and what they think of it. But it's like just watching it yourself and everything. It's just like it's kind of the same thing. So I like it when a series does more of this route where it's directly straight up a remake. They're not just trying to be closer to a manga or anything. They're just fully remaking the series, doing their own thing, changing things up, notably so. It makes it feel fresh and unique, but still keeping that nostalgia factor. Still making it seem like, oh yeah, this is still Digimon. This is still the Digimon I know and love. It's still the same original cast of characters, original Digimon and everything. But what they're doing different is the story is different. The order of things are different. The presentation of it all. They're doing it differently, and I appreciate that. I just like the way they're handling it. Compared to just like one of those other reboots or remakes that they have out there for different anime. Um, I don't know how the Higurashi one's gonna do with that, but I'm interested to see because I really love Higurashi. Um, either way, either way, this was a very good episode. I really enjoyed what they did with Sora and Biomon here, and I can't wait to see where they go with presumably. I mean, Izzy and Tentamon next episode. Um, so yeah, tell me in the comments what you thought of this episode of Digimon Adventure 2020. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See you all next time.